You say you want to bring into decision-making the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, the lack of information.
Yes.
Where we typically do the opposite.
Typically, people focus on what they know. And I learned to focus on what I don't know. It took me a lifetime of understanding it, and this is what I'm spreading. And I'm working on my next book. Will take 5 years probably. It's about how to live in a world we don't understand. And whenever I deal with academics, I had a special issue of an academic journal because really I have a lot of academic publication, but I hide it because I don't like academia. I'm allergic. But we had a special issue, how to operate in an environment of low predictability. And all the papers came from academics, how to improve forecast. I'm not asking you to improve your forecast. I'm asking you to tell me how to work in a world without forecasting. Because your forecast, you're going to fall into the trap of trying to improve it. Has not been improving. We are not better at forecasting.
If I'm a businessman and I have to hire a team, invest in more machines, I need
very short-term forecast, and then the other one is you have to understand it's a gamble.
Okay.
So it's okay to be fooled by some forecasting. I tell people without some overconfidence, you wouldn't have restaurants. In New York City, restaurants don't make money. So the person needs to be fooled to start. That capitalism works. It's good to have some overconfidence, but not when it hurts you. So just to make sure that there are some tricks I use for scenarios. Like, for example, it's okay to say this, to forecast the stock market, but make sure that you know what happens if your forecast is wrong. Most people don't. I keep asking people, now the stock market in America is down 45% for the year, 48, whatever, something like that. I ask people, why don't you make an allowance for it? You see? It's okay. They say, well, it goes up 8% a year. I say, maybe that's right, but why don't you make an allowance for that forecast being wrong? Nobody I know made that allowance.
You also say that success in business depends more on luck than capabilities and abilities.
I don't say that. No.
Okay.
I think my point is that we tend to, and that's my earlier book, Fooled by Randomness. We are vastly more likely to mistake.
Sorry.
Vastly more likely to mistake the random for non-random than the other way around. And let me explain it. You're vastly more likely to see a pattern when there's none than to miss on a pattern. And that we inherited this this ability to see a pattern when there's none, because it's okay in the past if you see something that looks like a lion and run. If every time you see a lion you run, you see.
Yes.
You're okay even if you have a false alert. Okay, but those who started being analytical and missed on the second error of seeing a lion and not run because you weren't sure it was a lion, left the gene pool. Okay. So our survival depended on this seeing patterns when there's none. Because you can't miss on the second error of not seeing a pattern. And some people explain it. They say it's much better to mistake a stone for a bear than a bear for a stone.
Okay.
You see, because if you mistake a bear for a stone, you're going to end up in the stomach of a bear.
Yes.
If you mistake a stone for a bear, you run. Okay.
What would be the implications of that, the way we think, we see, we evaluate risk in day-to-day life?
I think...
because I'm not exposed to bears nor stones.
Yeah, but I think what happens is that we have inherited the wrong risk aversion. We don't like some risky investments that are volatile, but we tend to take a lot of risk with investments that are not volatile but have very risk. Like banks had no variation in the portfolio, but banks keep blowing up. All right, but some venture capital are volatile, but it's much safer in a way.
Yes. Okay, I think you said many things about how first we need to recognize a different nature in the world, not as we expect or thought we were taught.
Yeah, extremist stand is something new to us.
Something new to us. And then a little bit of some tips of how to deal with extremistan, and not always being averse to that, but trying to choose how to be exposed to
positive extremistan, not negative extremistan. And it's very simple, but the problem is that academia fought me for 20 years. I didn't get my voice heard till recently.
And you also say never bet against black swans.
No. I mean, it's very easy to avoid betting against black swans. Nobody ever made money betting against black swans.
Okay. What is then the idea of your next book?
It's called Tinkering, How to Domesticate Randomness. It was small little tricks, like my go-to parties and small little tricks, but I go deeper into it. And I go into the core nature of the knowledge and see how Western civilization was degraded markedly since the Enlightenment. Our knowledge has worked very well in physics, but has not worked in a lot of areas. How we tend to learn by accident and then discover the story, but we still go to school thinking we're going to learn how to understand something. That's what the illusion of design.
Okay.
You see, like for example, medicine is a great history where almost, except for AIDS drugs, we never discovered anything. We went from theory to practice. So always tinkering, you discover things. But except outside of physics and some application, most of everything we discover, we're good at knowing if B is better than A. But we're not aggressive enough on it. So I want to make a general philosophy of how to live in a world we don't understand. A through Z, and I'm working on it. I'm thinking of nothing else. I eat thinking about it. I'm talking to you thinking about it now.
Okay.
And that's I want to stand every Western thinking on its head since the Enlightenment. By the way, the Romans were a lot smarter.
Why?
They did not like theories. The Romans did not like philosophy, did not like theories. They liked tricks. It was all corrupted. Guess by whom?
By whom?
By the Greek thought that was brought into Europe by the Arabs.
Wow.
The top-down thinking. Top-down versus bottom-up.
We'll see then the implications of that thinking in your next book. We're looking forward to that.
It's going to take a while.
And in the meanwhile, we'll try to learn how to make money and deal with extremistan.
Avoid losing money. It's more important than try to make money.
Okay. Well, I'll try to learn it then. Thank you very much, Nassim, for being with us. Thank you. Thank you to all of you for being with Management TV. See you soon.